Alright, so cold and dismal afternoon in the UK during the festive period of 2019. What better to do than talk some boxing and various other stuff going on in the world, football, anything related really. We'll just have a chat. I've got a good few questions, and I've had a good couple of conversations with some people around myself. So, in regards to fights potentially coming up for 2020 and that sort of stuff, so we'll discuss that. I might try and timestamp some of the video if I get a chance. If I don't sue me. But maybe someone in the comments below may attempt to do that. So if you do, shout out you. But I'll see how things go. But let's talk the weekend just gone. Daniel Dubois versus Kiyotaro Fujimoto. So it took me a bit of a while to process that name. Fucking hell, it's Daniel Dubois fighting this guy who's smaller than myself, looked half out of shape. It's just appalling. I mean, Daniel Dubois has had a good year. I don't even think he needed this fight, to be honest. You got to give Frank Warren promotional team credit where credit is due. This is a filler fight, to be honest. This is just a record padder. So it's just a bit. It's just a bit bullshit at the same time. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the worst fight, but you didn't really learn anything from that. So it's just like, where's he gonna fucking learn for the big guys? Frank Warren is saying he's ready for the elite guys at heavyweight. He's fucking 21, 22. He's younger than myself. Give him time. Let him develop. We've seen what happens when guys like, in and around his age get chucked in at the deep end. Hughie Fury is probably the prime example. Do not bother chucking him in at the deep end. Give him the fights that he needs to fucking, fight through and learn through and come through and battle through. He needs those tough fights. They were talking about Joe Joyce for 2020. Boxing talk with Ade was talking about it. Joe Joyce probably needs that fight more than Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois could fight a couple of journeymen and gatekeepers and that sort of stuff and still gain valuable experience. There are fighters out there, 110%, that Daniel Dubois can fight, can beat, and he just needs the natural progression. British, Commonwealth, European, world champion, or world title contender. And there's a lot of guys there, especially if Frank Warren's saying he's looking for the top 10. No fucking chance. No fucking chance in hell. I'm telling you that now. Cannot see that whatsoever. As I said, we'll see where Daniel Dubois goes in 2020. He's had a good 2019. The fight, last week was just a bit of a farce, just like the Tommy Fury fight. I know he's come off this fucking Love Island and whatnot. Mate, just pack it, just pack that in. Don't want to see that trash. At least if you're going to have a fight, at least make it against a half respectable journeyman, not coming in to be announced literally the day before. I saw the fight card and I saw TBA. So one of my mates, a close mate of mine, asked me, "What do you mean it's TBA versus Tommy Fury?" And I said, "Well, they're gonna get some absolute scrub. No disrespect. People don't take that disrespectfully, but fuck it. It's we're all just having a public domain forum here. I mean, that was awful." That was horrendous. He just went in, splurged him with the first punch, and then splattered him all around the ring for a minute. No defense, no nothing. The guy was literally running away and getting pounded from pillar to post. It's like, fuck, where did they pick him up from? Honestly, I could have put on more of a fight. And I'm out of shape because of Christmas. Do you know what I mean? It's just fucking a bit awful. I mean, I'm in decent shape, just to go back to it. Not the shape that I would like to be in, but yeah, sue me. It's Christmas. Put on a kg or here and there. It's not that bad. I will be good for 2020, believe it. Sorry. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, those sort of fights. It's just I understand they're getting a run out, they're getting a bit of exposure, but come on, those are awful. They don't learn anything from those fights. It's just it's fucking farcical. Honestly, can't bear through and watch that. Sometimes I'll watch it because I don't know. I like boxing, but sometimes it just does my head in. It's like all these people calling out all these other people. Listen, come back, fight when you're active, and then we can talk. Do you know what I mean? Or fight when you're fit, or actually go out and want the biggest fights. There's a lot of people out there that don't want the biggest fights, so just fuck it. I don't want to hear this shit. But I mean, yeah, those two fights, fair play. There was a fight on DAZN. I mean, Maurice Hooker came back. I think won. He called out Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor smashes him. To be honest. Um, there's not too much else news. I mean, there's a fight card this weekend. There's Cat's Guy, the former IBF super middleweight champion. He's fighting. I think Caleb Plant is fighting Vincent Feigenbutz, the German who lost to De Carolis at super middleweight for the WBA regular, I think, at the time. So there are a good few fights. You know what? I gotta do a quick Google. Badu Jack versus Marcus Brown. Not a bad fight at all. That'll be a bit of a war. Assuming Jack starts a bit earlier, he does tend to start a bit later. Javante Davis versus Yuriorkis Gamboa this weekend. I mean, Davis should win that fight. Gamboa is faded. I mean, it's not the worst fight, but it's just Gamboa is not the same fighter he was. I know Roman Gonzalez won recently, also maybe in the last week or so. Just seeing what else there is, really. There's not too much else. I know they normally do a Japanese card at the end of the year, but I don't know who will be on it because I know Inoue just fought Daenerys, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be on there. Daniel Dubois, Liam Williams actually fought on that card. That's the one I was thinking. He fought Atlantis Fox. Now there was some weird, not controversy, but weird sort of speculation that it was a WBO final eliminator, then it was just a normal eliminator. Then the WBO came out and said it's not for their mandatory spot. So we don't know what's going on because I know Eddie Hearn has offered a one-fight deal to Demetrius Andrade, or however you want to call it. Jamel Charlo, a WBC middleweight champion, for Demetrius Andrade on DAZN, and just simply a one-fight deal. So I'm just thinking if they're going to try and make that fight, who's the WBO number one? Is he going to bypass him if Liam Williams? Liam Williams has come out and said he'll give up the spot to fight Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, Eubank Jr. just quote unquote beat Matt Korobov, and I thought Matt Korobov had a really good first round, and it wasn't looking good for Eubank Jr. in that fight. I know a lot of people are Eubank Jr. fans, but it wasn't looking promising. Let's just say that. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I mean, Atlantis Fox was getting beaten up so badly. How he makes middleweight at 6'2" or something like that, 6'3". He's about my height. So, and he looked dry as hell. On at the scales and on fight night, he looked really bad, and he just didn't want to engage. He had no power. Didn't use his reach. He got pushed back. I mean, Liam Williams was good, don't get me wrong. Liam Williams is a decent fighter. I quite like Liam Williams. Thought he did really well in the first Liam Smith fight, in both the fights, to be fair. And it's obviously, it's not gone well for him. He's moved up to middleweight, I probably think he doesn't feel the weight cut, maybe. He does look a bit more reinvigorated, reinvented, in terms of just, at least he comes forward. He does throw punches in bunches very smartly as well, if you watch him. especially in that Fox fight. He kind of dipped under from right to left, through the left hand, and then a right uppercut, and then tried the right hook, caught him with the left when Fox was going down to his right. It was good stuff. It was good stuff, and you gotta give him that. You know, he's a decent fight. I just like to see him against. I mean, Fox is just like in and around the fringe world level, but he didn't look no better than a solid, hard European level fighter. So I'd like to see him in against someone like in and around that. In and around that sort of ranking, maybe in top 20, I'd say. Liam Williams, top 20, top 25. Alantes Fox, I mean, I'm not saying he's in that, but he just looked really dismal on the night. But again, Sonny Edwards, I think, fought against Braithwaite. That was a good fight, not a bad fight. Standard. Sonny Edwards did the job. He's a solid fighter, to be fair. Him and his brother Charlie. Charlie's obviously moved up. I think Martinez, the guy who beat him up in 3 rounds, he and it got popped for clenbuterol. Shock. Fucking shock. That dodgy meat. Yeah, fucking right. I don't believe any of that absolute bollocks. But yeah, he beat Christopher Rosales. I think Charlie Edwards actually beat Rosales before when he won the belt. So because Rosales beat Selby for the belt before, something like that. So at flyweight, and he won that belt. He looks savage though. Probably the PEDs, but probably the fucking PEDs. But he beat up Christopher Rosales in 8-9 rounds, I think, and won that WBC belt. There's a couple of fights I know that are scheduled for next year that I'm ready for. Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas. 1 fight deal on the zone for Mikey. That's not a bad fight. I mean, I don't know if he's too proud or his team around him or not fucking telling him, because he is tiny at welterweight. He's not a welterweight, and I applaud him for everything he's doing and moving up and really trying it and rolling the dice. But fucking hell, Mikey, pack it in. It is not a good look. At welterweight, he really got beat up in that Errol Spence fight. I think it's probably worse that Errol Spence is probably the biggest natural. Well, I wouldn't say natural. I think he's the biggest welterweight out there. He could probably sit into the 154 division, as comfortably for himself instead of making that weight cut. Obviously, Errol Spencer's out at the moment with that car crash and that sort of stuff, which was absolutely awful. But it's just to prove a point. Mikey's gonna struggle against the top guys, the Terence Crawfords and those sort of guys. I know Terence Crawford's a bit of a normal size. I put that in commas. Welterweight. But listen, it's difficult. Sometimes natural size, the weight classes are there for a fucking reason. And, Lomachenko is already maxing out at lightweight. And they were calling for that, the Mikey fight. Mikey's moved up 2 weight classes. So it shows he's got a hell of a load of balls. But fucking hell, he's, maybe he's bitten off a bit too much than he can chew if he's going to move up to that weight class. 140, I can understand, because he done a job on Lipinets when he fought him for the IBF, I think, and he won, and then he vacated and moved back down to lightweight or something like that, or then he moved up to welterweight. He was just inactive for a bit or something like that. But you just got to be very careful, I think. But that's a good fight. I mean, if Mikey can come in and really let his shots go, not like he did against Errol Spence, then of course he's got a chance. But Jesse Vargas, Jesse Vargas is in the round, obviously. On paper, Mikey's obviously the better fighter, and I think skill set wise, but Jesse Vargas will come to fight, and fuck it, why not? A bit of a brawl, bit of a war to start the year. Can't complain, cannot complain. So I mean, that's all the news that we have in terms of we've just been rambling on for 15 minutes, so I'll try and timestamp that, and I'll put it on my phone so we can crack on from there, and then pop it in the comment section, or at least time mark it for you guys. So I mean, look, I was having a conversation Christmas Eve, I'd say, which is a couple of days ago now, and I was just having a conversation. I wouldn't say oddly enough, because I'd like to say I'd seen it coming, but Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Dylan White, and the rest of the heavyweights in the top 10. We're having a conversation about top 10 heavyweights, just pretty much everything that you can talk about, all the heavyweights, the current scene, the corruption in the sport, and let's kind of discuss it. I mean, as I said, I like doing these sort of ones because this happens every other day. I have a conversation with somebody every other day about the heavyweight scene, or other UK fighters that they may watch, and it's always quite interesting for me to gauge an opinion of somebody else, because I have my own way of thinking. As I said, whoever's watching this video at the moment, you have your own way of thinking, and you've got to respect people's opinion. Whether you like it or not, you've got to respect it. And it's just interesting. It always creates interesting conversation. So went out, and one of the fellas, all just about three friends, quite close friends. Two of them very close. One of them is like a cousin of one of them, and they're sound as well. But it's just we're talking about it. He was like, Ruiz was terrible. He'd come out of shape, and I said, listen, mate, when you're coming in 20 pounds heavier, what fucking chance are you going to give yourself? Really, you can't say, yeah, I'm going to go in there half fit. And be brilliant, which he probably was in the first fight. I mean, he was in some fighting shape-ish in the first Joshua Ruiz fight. That is Andrew Ruiz, and he was he looked good. That wasn't the same Joshua, obviously, and polar opposite. Ruiz wasn't the same Ruiz that fought in the first fight. Didn't let his shots go, out of shape. Joshua was significantly better, and it was just a role reversal. But they were like, where does Andrew Ruiz sort of sit in the top 10, top 15? And not recognising always there's so many other belts, and Joshua's consolidated all the belts bar Deontay Wilder's WBC. So I said, look, on the balance of probability, you've got to put Wilder or Fury number one. Ruiz and Joshua, I know Ruiz was one, and people argue, and I'm not here to have an fucking argument. And if you're gonna argue with me, just for the wrong reasons, just fuck off, because I've seen it before. Can't be arsed with that shit. I'll have a sort of discussion about it. There's definitely discussion. It's very difficult. I mean, in terms of just skill and who I think the best fighter is, I'd put Fury there. But then, obviously, that's a true 50-50 against Wilder, because Fury could be brilliant for the whole fight, which he was for most of the first fight. He got decked twice and still got a draw. So it's going to be hard to beat Deontay Wilder on points. Is he going to try to knock him out? I'm not sure. He doesn't sit on his punches very well. So, for me, those two guys. But then some people have put Ruiz number one after the Joshua win. But then Joshua's not gone back up to one, or he's immediately gone in at first place. Listen, he has a good resume. I can understand if someone puts him first. I personally wouldn't. He'd be maybe two, just because Fury was inactive, didn't look good against Wallin, but and obviously Joshua's going in an immediate rematch. I can understand if someone puts him one, but it just depends on how you want to justify it. They just said, essentially, disregarding the rankings, whoever ranks who at the top, like who wins in those sort of fights, and everyone talks about them. Every fucking person talks about them. But I mean, it's interesting because a lot of the guys, we had a poll, about 5 people in the room. I know it says a very small sample, but 5 people in the room, 4 people have gone for Deontay Wilder to beat Anthony Joshua. 1 person's gone for Joshua. I mean, everyone said, I would support Joshua, but Wilder is a freak. And I said, listen, Wilder hits like an absolute fucking freight train. You can't deny the guy's power. He's knocking guys down with no sort of, he's not winding up on the punches. He's just decking them. There was that one punch, the punch against Luis Ortiz in the second fight, that was deadly. He's just iced him on the ropes. Luis Ortiz was perfect for the fight. Iced him. 10 seconds left. He's finished. He's fucking gone. He's out on his feet. Luis Ortiz is like, what the fuck has just hit me? I'm finessed. I'm done. I don't want none of this shit no more. And that's the problem with Wilder. Joshua could buzz him, and Deontay Wilder's shown a good chin. We were talking about the resumes. Look, they've said, okay, Deontay Wilder's best opponent is Luis Ortiz. Joshua's best opponent is Vlad, and I said, yeah, well, Vlad, and there's a couple of others on there, just Parker, Takam. There's some decent fighters on there. There's a lot more decent fighters on his resume than I'd say Wilder's, even though we can critique it in a short moment. But it was they talked about Vlad, and I said, look, Vlad got sort of outboxed and played with Tyson Fury not too long before that. Obviously, his fight before that. So Vlad, his the style that he was bringing into the fight anyway was actually much more suited to a Joshua than it was to a Tyson Fury. So I mean that was one, but disregarding that, Klitschko was inactive and old. So also sorry if you can hear that wind. I think the window is open even though it is fucking traffic. But yeah, it's just I thought I'd just get a bit of fresh air. But yeah, it's more the fact that Joshua's fought all of these guys, but he's fought Vlad at the wrong time. He got knocked down. He was out on his feet for a couple of rounds. He got buzzed heavily by Dylan White. We couldn't always. The thing is, I was watching Boxing Talk with Ade. As I said, I only watch a couple of YouTube guys that don't really tend to watch other, too many other YouTube channels. I think I just have my own way of doing things. People are too critical on YouTube and Instagram and all that. I just don't give a fuck about people's opinions. I just do my own thing, keep my head down, and that's it. But so Joshua he got a really good win against Vlad. But it's just I thought a bit more prime Vlad would have probably knocked him out in that round when he did knock him down in round 6, I think it was, in their fight. I just think if that does happen, he's shown a bit of vulnerability, Joshua, especially with this performance against Ruiz, where he's trying to circle on the back foot. He tried to engage. He did get caught a couple of times. I wouldn't say he got buzzed or anything, but he was like, okay, I'm not messing around with this guy. I'm just going to keep on boxing on the back foot because I don't want too much of this. I don't want too much of this guy coming forward and then being a bull. You know what I mean, with his fast combinations, even though they weren't fast because he was absolutely fucking pie out of shape. Sorry, so yeah, and I'd say, look, Fury I think beats both of them just based on natural skill and his attributes. I do think it's very difficult to outbox. I think Joshua will really struggle against a Tyson Fury, even though I'd love to see that fight. He can't box with someone like a Tyson Fury. He's going to find it a bit tough to get on the inside as well, just due to the height and reach difference. As I said, sometimes natural size does play a prevalent factor, so we've got to take that into consideration. So it's that I was like, Wilder and Fury. That's obviously 50-50. I think Wilder will beat. Tyson Fury will beat Wilder. I think it'll be a close fight though, and then I think. Joshua would lose to Wilder, and I think Fury would beat Joshua. That's not to say Joshua's not good. And you know what? I want people to understand this because what we were all talking about in the room, and we were all just discussing. And I said, look, well, that doesn't mean Anthony Joshua's not good because he's obviously a very good fighter. I just think the other two guys have attributes that may be able to beat someone like a Joshua. And I think one of my mates sort of succinctly was talking about it, and he said it's interesting, Jarrett, like they call me a couple of different names, but obviously we'll just keep at that. He's just like, it's interesting how you look at the game because you break it down, you look at their fights very objectively. And as I said, I don't really have a favourite. I think they said, who's your favourite in these sort of fights? And I said, I don't really have a favourite. I look at it objectively. Who do I want to win? You know, sometimes it is the British fighter. If they go out to away soil, if they're going out far and the chips are against them and that sort of stuff. Of course, I fucking root for the British guy. You know, just you got to support, and it's an underdog as well. Fair fucking play. Whereas, you know, these sort of fights, generally, I don't really have an opinion in that regard in terms of who I prefer better. There's styles I might say, yeah, I prefer watching, but in terms of the fighter itself, I don't go out to support the fight. And I think, obviously, a lot of the boys was supporting Joshua, which is totally fair enough, because he's obviously locally based for myself, if anything. So I don't, as I said, I have nothing against Joshua at all. I just think you know, some styles make fights. That's the easiest fucking way to put it. Styles fucking make fights, and I think the other two styles are not a good style for Joshua, and vice versa. So, you know, it's just for me that's important. It's important to say that, you know, I think, you know, Fury style is not good for Joshua. I think Wilder's style, you know, it's unorthodox, it's weird, and I think that fight, should that ever get made, they talk about it forever and end. It's like the fucking Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Kell Brook is actually coming back next year. Fucking hell, he's probably like 200 pounds at the moment. Goodness knows if he's actually going to make a serious comeback, because he's fighting a bum opponent again. So you know, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating with a lot of UK fighters. Billy Joe hopefully fights Canelo. I know Canelo vacated the belt, the 175 WBO belt. So it looks like they're going to make Callum Smith versus Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs just beat Chavez Jr. So, I mean, it just depends. It just depends. There's a lot of potential fights there to be made. A lot of people have been asking, a lot of people have been making, you know, what fighter of the fight of the decade, fight of the year, and that sort of stuff. I'm not going to really delve into that. So many guys, I was thinking of doing that, but so many guys are doing that, and it's kind of just not really going to get anywhere with that. So, and we could go on for days about that. So we'll kind of, unless you guys are interested in that, that's totally fine, and I'll bring that out. But if not, I'll sit down and write something. But yeah, if not, then obviously we'll do something different. Let me know what you'd like to do for 2020. There's so many things that I could potentially bring out for next year. I think I'm going to be more free towards the end of the month, to be honest, end of January. I will try to still release something in the interim, of course. Just trying to keep everyone on board. You know, keep the attention on the channel. I don't want momentum to be lost this time as well. I want to just try and be releasing videos at least weekly. So, you know, I appreciate all the comments. I just want to say it's been a great year. You know, I'll be completely honest, and that's not why I've sort of missed making videos. It's been a great year because I've really just been staying on the radar, really pushing hard, working hard, and trying to get things back from where I lost out on, you know, in 2017 or 2018, sorry. So it's been a really solid year. I mean, be completely honest, I've had the rough couple of months. The last couple of months have been really bad. I've had a car on finance. It's messed up. It's refocused a lot of my attention for business and you know, setting something up for myself as well. I don't really even want to be working for somebody else. That's the mentality that you want to have in life, I think. So, I mean, you know, I'd say from next month onwards, end of the month, I'd say from February, I'm going to have some housework starting. So I'm planning on getting a new phone as well. I may end up just doing videos on the go, to be honest. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. It'll just be me mostly driving around while I'm driving, you know, so to and from work or something like that. It will be, you know, it won't be exactly the same, just me sitting down here, but it will kind of be as well, just me on the go, on the move, talking boxing, talking any questions that you guys have for me. So let me know if that appeals to you. That will obviously be 2020. We've got a lot more things coming, you know. As I said, I want to try and incorporate a lot of different things and actually market the channel
market the channel properly, and not market in that regard. Just get it out there, because I feel like there's so many people who have such a negative opinion about watching boxing or people's channels, and they always have a gripe with people's channels. It shouldn't be that way. We should just always be enjoying the content that other content creators bring out, and really supporting them. And listen, I'm not a big YouTube channel. I've only got about 400 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of you who's stuck around, enjoy the content, always comment, always happy to sort of give a helping hand to the channel. It never goes amiss. It honestly never goes missing. I always notice it, and just shout out you people. You're absolute fucking legends. But as I said, objective. You just got to look at things objectively, and I feel like I do that. I don't really have an opinion either or. Football as well. I mean, I support Reading. We suck. We've won a couple of games, and we won yesterday against QPR, but fucking hell, this season we're being dismal. At home we're losing 3-4, 3-4-1. It's appalling. But you still got to support. You still got to support, and I'll be completely objective. And when I say, we've been shit. We've been complete shit. Luckily, we're getting some players back now. John Swift scored a banger yesterday. But it is. People are so quick to go, they're fucking shit, and this person's shit, makes shit videos, or this person said this. You have no idea what you're talking about. That's the worst one. You have no idea what you're talking about. If that's the case, why don't you fucking get up, do your video, and talk about it then from your own perspective. Don't have a go at other people for just saying what's on their mind, or giving you some content. They're giving you what you want to hear. So you know what it is. It's just about, for me, being ultra refreshing and telling people the truth. For me, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna sit here idly. I'm not gonna be an asshole, but I'm just gonna say exactly how it is. And how it is, salute all the guys that make videos and are fucking some good content out there. Boxing Talk with Ade, I did email him. I'll try to tag him on Instagram or something to try and get a hold of him. He's done a couple of videos with a couple of people at the minute. They're not, they're significantly bigger than me, and it's not about growth or height of the channel or anything like that. It's just I'd like to talk to somebody that's knowledgeable about boxing, really, to be honest. And hopefully, I did sort of email him a couple of days ago, maybe on Christmas Day, so it wasn't the best time. But hopefully he can just drop me an email back, or drop me an Instagram message. I'll sort of tag him and see if we can get in touch with him, or on Twitter or anything like that. So we'll see if we can make a video. There's a couple of other people that I'm trying to make a video with. People are quite knowledgeable boxing fans as well. Obviously, we'll have an opinion either or. I will try to get like a sit down with a couple of people. I've got a guy that we played for the same semi-professional football team in the area. We both play for different teams now, or we're just sort of taking a break at the moment. So I do have a lot of things potentially coming. I'm just trying to work out the logistics and that sort of stuff, especially with the work going on at home and extensions and renovation. It gets very difficult, so I'm going to have to piece a lot of things together as soon as the close of January comes around. Again, I'll just keep everyone completely posted. I'm going to be completely transparent. As I said, big 2020. I'm not looking to sit idle for 2020, and I'm looking to really push on. And someone put Jet one time, almost like Keith one time Thurman, but I'm actually going to be bang on it. I will try to get around to it. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for the fucking stellar support. For this year, all the years gone past since I started the channel. I've realised the channel's been open about 6 years almost. So I just want to say fucking thank you guys, for everything. It's been, I don't think you guys would understand fully how much it means to me. So I just like to say, we've gone a bit of a waffle for the last sort of
7 minutes or so, but it really means a lot. And a lot of things have gone on in the past, and all I'll say is, you know, this channel, a lot of the support and some of the messages I get from time to time, emails, that sort of stuff, it is really, really appreciated. I will never ever forget it. And on to bigger things for 20 on Bro Thing, on to bigger things for 2020. You know, just drop the video a like, share, subscribe, put it on all social media outlets. Go follow me on all social media platforms. You know, links in the description below, or to handles in the description below. And let's get this channel pushed for 2020. Let me know what videos you want next as well. Any other different type of videos, sit down videos, face to face. You know, analytical sort of videos with a bit of editing. Let me know, because then I can make moves and make sort of plans towards it. So let's do that. Let's push the channel, and yeah, always appreciate the time. Thank you for the love and support, and speak to you next time. Peace.